Oh, oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Yesterday morning, when I had flown from Buffalo to Detroit, then I had a stopover before coming to Portland, and I was listening to some bhajans, some devotional music, and a YouTube ad came on that said, YouTube can provide music for any mood. At night, whether you want to work out or work on a pint of ice cream. They're so inclusive in their marketing and their strategy. They're like Brahman. And I thought that to be an insightful understanding of one's mood at night, how it can make you work out or just eat ice cream. Our mornings can be the same in terms of just sleeping in and complaining or being active and being reflective. I hope and pray that Meaningful Mornings is helping you to develop the habit to be active in the morning, an active listener, an active reflector. This habit, in the big picture, helps us to choose that which makes us uncomfortable. Only when you start choosing that which makes you uncomfortable will you grow out of your individuality and into infinity. If you're too comfortable being an individual, you're never going to want to change that. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 6 is in review right now. Yes, it is 4:48 a.m. for me, but I did say chapter 6. This review is in chapter 18. In verse 53, Sri Krishna identifies a series of vices that have to be purged before one can contemplate. We all have vices. Their roots are our vasanas. In Meaningful Mornings, and I hope and pray in your life also, there is a constant hum of a divine name, Bhagwan's Nama. Because in doing so, what automatically gets pulled is the divine form, or Bhagwan's Rupa. And what gets pulled with that? A divine quality, or Bhagwan's Guna. When I use the word Sri Krishna, I hope and pray that his image is coming into your personality, his qualities are coming into your personality. Japa can remove vices faster than we can incur them. That's how efficient japa is. Which is why when we practice contemplation, what do we do with the mind? Chant with the mind. In verse 54, Sri Krishna shared the one who is engaged in purification, that essentially was a previous verse, and preparation. Preparation means their seat, their sanctum, their sentiment, all of that is cleared. Then that person is ready to contemplate. That person is ready to start to feel complete in our Narada Bhakti Sutra course, which we completed on Tuesday. We went through a section on 12 disciplines that lift one up from sneha to anuraga. Sneha is when I love, but I love the lower. Anuraga is when I love, but I love the higher. When I start to transition my love from the lower to the higher, this is me preparing for contemplation. But that's a disciplined effort. It's not like Bollywood romantic love where it just happens. It comes with discipline. I was sharing with the students how this is a lifting process. When I was in university, and in university everyone's trying to be a good-looking person, so you would ask the next person, do you lift? Implying, do you lift weights? But this is the better do you lift. Do you lift yourself into anuraga? So you have to change these words and these phrases. Then, in verse 55, the seeker has purified and prepared, and now they've engaged in the process of contemplation. And so, tat anantaram, thatness, their experiences of that. They feel, I am that. Anantaram. This is no longer conditional. For lots of us, when we're in the highest vocation, we feel like this verse describes us. When the highest vocation is over, then we feel like we're the Prince Arjuna of chapter 1. There's no anantaram. But here the word anantaram is used. Trying to share some more connections to other maps. In our Dialogue with Dharma course, which we completed yesterday, one of the questions was, how does one go past life and death? And the answer is to be revered. Those who are revered, they don't die. Their bodies die, but their names and forms and qualities don't die. Now think of who would be the most revered? The one who is complete. They are past concepts like time. We're coming back to verse 56, which I'll review in brief, and then we'll move on to verse 57. To give you the context, Sri Krishna is taking us from a controlled environment to an uncontrolled environment. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madhavapshayaha mat prasadata vapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Jo. Sarva karma, all actions, api as well, sada, which means all ways. All actions in all ways. Kurvanaha mat avapshayaha. We should engage in this because all is Sri Krishna. When one has the insight that all is Sri Krishna, then all actions in all ways are for him, by him. I know when you contemplate, you feel this bigness. But as soon as you open your eyes, that smallness kicks in. And this is where Shri Krishna is sharing that bigness you felt in contemplation. Carry on with that. All of this is Shri Krishna. All of this home is Shri Krishna. To keep on carrying on with this. Then it's obvious that all actions in all ways would be by him, for him. I'm reading an insight from Pujya Swami Chinmayananda. The Gita Acharya never wants to receive any devotee at his gate, nor will he give an audience to anyone unless the seeker carries the passport of selfless service to the society. We have defined society as those names and forms we don't know. Correct? My community, they have some of the same last names I do. They probably look like I do. He uses the word society, performing continuously all actions, always taking refuge in me. Next line. Mat, from me, prasadat, from me there is grace. Avapnoti, and through this one gains. Gains what? Shashvatam. I like this word. Shashvata means that which is ancient yet applicable. It is the oldest and youngest. This is the type of personality we should have to be able to merge with the oldest and the youngest. Padamavyayam, when one starts to feel this feeling doesn't go away. It is forever put into a conclusion for us. Shri Krishna in verse 50 stated, if you want to be complete, this is what you need to do. In verses 51 to 55, Shri Krishna gave guidance on contemplation. Then in verse 56, he started to shift this to what you're going to feel with your eyes closed, and in 57, what you should feel with your eyes open. The uncontrolled environment. The only way for there to be the same experience in a controlled environment and out of a controlled environment, it is His grace for one to feel He is doing in you, He is doing in all. To support this, the next verse comes in. 57. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya machitta satatam bhava. Joy. Chetasa, which means relating to the mind. Sarva karmani, all actions comes again, correct? Our ego has this habit, this propensity to exclude some actions. Exclusion equals compromise. That's when you stop lifting. By not compromise, there's no exclusivity, then you start lifting. Mai, and all of this is by Shri Krishna, for Shri Krishna, in Shri Krishna, whatever way you want to describe this. For and by Shri Krishna are the best ways to understand this. This teaching on act for me really is an expression of Tyaga. That's the residual teaching throughout this whole chapter about Tyaga, which is renouncing results. I act for myself, now I'm acting for Shri Krishna. That is a change in, or a practice in, renouncing results. Sanyasya matparaha, and surrendering because I am the highest, surrendering not because he's the highest, because he's the only. With the highest, if I don't know it, then I may not surrender to it. But if there's only Shri Krishna, then surrender is so obvious. This is an effortless process. In our Narada Bhakti Sutra course, I shared a sutra on our sutras, and that sutra was looking after you. Shri Krishna is the one who's looking after you, so look after him. That's the practice in renouncing results and surrendering actions. I'm looking after him. Buddhi yogam upashritya, the one who resorts to, follows through with buddhi yoga, these insights. Mat chitta, their inner world is on me, satatam bhava. It is just not on me, it is fixed on me. Completing this, when one has the clarity about the nature of Shri Krishna being omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipeaceful, then that leads to conviction. This is how one lives. In this conviction, one gives up forgetting. One gives up forgetting that Shri Krishna is omni. Pujya Swami Tejomayananda had shared, forgetting Bhagwan and developing ego happen simultaneously. So these verses are describing the one who doesn't forget. And so it's synonymous with the one who's surrendering their individuality, their ego. From inspiration to application, your application was for you to reflect on what Meaningful Mornings has done for your mental health. Joy, I see that. Any other reflections on what your mental health has been on account of Meaningful Mornings? For me, as I was walking through the airport, I couldn't help but keep on systematically going, different nama, different rupa, different guna, same dhamma. There was such a feeling of oneness with the beings I was seeing in the airport. Now our mental health gets compromised on account of comparison, competition, and so on. But if there's oneness, you have the best mental health then. And others are sharing you're less reactive, you're more compassionate. Wonderful. Here is your application for this morning. I want you to reflect on, because we're going to start tomorrow, for him forever. May 18th is 1 month before our communal yatra. From May 18th to June 30th. June 30th, a group of us, 54 of us, will be touching the actual Kailasha, where Bhagwan Shiva lives. I want you to start reflecting and working on a single vice. It could be anger, it could be jealousy, that which is burning you and those around you the most. And I want you to try to develop this satatam bhava, this comprehensive feeling. This is for him forever. That on June 30th, you are going to give a significant portion of this vice to him, and you're never going to take it back. For your entire life, this vice is no longer going to describe you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be joy.